Today, we got a new channel that we are going to react to. It's called Daily Dose of Creeps, which I do like. It has a nice ring to it. You know, it's catchy. I already went ahead and subscribed and hit that bell notification for you because something tells me personally I'm going to like this. So, without further ado, right, and plus I have my fair share of, horror reactions. So best believe I'm going to give you my honest review after everything is said and done, right? Because you know I got you. Reacting to like horror videos, that's what I do. So, let's get it. Video is called, hold on. It's not called Hold On. Episode 1, 3 Disturbing Home Alone Stories. Something always goes clucked up when you home alone. And something tells me, how many stories? 3 stories? All 3 of these stories, nobody checked the checklist. Hey, nobody checked the checklist. Hey, nobody checked the checklist. Hey, mama didn't check the checklist. Hey, daddy didn't check the checklist. Hey, nobody checked the checklist. No, but let's get it though. Sup? Do you cluck with the hoodie? Do you clucks with the hoodie? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. It's clean. Sup? Though. Daily Dose of Creeps. Let's see what you're talking about. And it's on noise cancellation right now. Right. Okay. I want to know if you're going to have like sound effects.
This is Daily Dose of Creeps. Welcome to episode 1. 3 disturbing Home Alone stories.
Right.
Story 1.
Let's get it.
The Mad Animus.
The what? What the hell is that?
I was 12 years old when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm nearing my 30s now, I remember the day like it was yesterday.
Right.
Believe me, it's not something you would forget about in a hurry.
Okay.
I was home alone. My parents had gone out to a friend's place for dinner that night and told me they would be back late. They were going to arrange for a babysitter, but like most 12-year-olds, I convinced them I was old enough to look after myself for a few hours.
Nah.
Something I'd quickly come to regret.
Dale.
They reluctantly agreed, and I excitedly ushered them out the door, eager to have the whole house to myself for a few hours. I spent the first hour or so playing Soul Calibur on my GameCube and devouring all the junk food I could find from both the cupboards and the fridge.
Okay.
It was already starting to get dark at this point.
Yeah, and it's already starting to get clogged up at this point because you didn't check the checklist. I did not once hear you say you locked the door behind your parents. You locked the windows. You know what I mean? I didn't not hear you not once say you locked anything. You got it though.
Sky turning a deep shade of purple. It must have been around 8 o'clock at night. It being South Florida, it started to rain pretty heavily at this point, per usual. My parents told me not to expect them back until about 10, so I still had about 2 hours to myself.
Right.
By the time it reached 9 o'clock, I was starting to doze off. I turned off the TV and headed to my room. I must have fallen asleep at some point because next thing I knew, I was suddenly jolted awake.
You got it. You got it. Okay, you got what the sound. Okay, all right, cool. Oh, shit. That's what I get for solely focusing on the video and having noise cancellation in both ears. God, that sound effect got my heart jumping. Okay, so that sound effect right there. Okay, so now I know. Now I know. You do sound effects. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but now I know. So with that being said, that easily puts you at like, whew, that puts you up there because you got the sound effects. Oh my God.
My parents must have been home, or so I thought at the time. Then I noticed the clock by my bed said it was only 9:30. The house was quiet. My parents are usually very loud coming to the house, so I quickly realized they couldn't be home. Something had woken me up, though. I was disorientated at first and thought I was seeing things. But as the sleep cleared from my head, I realized what I was seeing was real. There was a face at the window. I was completely frozen as we both just stared at each other.
My ass.
The face was smiling. The smile slowly became a grimace. That's when I began to scream. But it was drowned out by the sound of glass breaking as the window exploded inwards. I jumped out of bed, tripping over the bed covers and stumbling to get away from the window as the woman burst through. She must have been about 70 years old, and she was stark naked. It's an image I'll never forget, no matter how much I try to. As soon as she was on her feet, her eyes blazing with certain madness, she reached out to grab me. Her fingernails were sharp and yellow, and I almost felt them ghost the back of my neck as I turned and fled the room, slamming the door shut behind me. She was delayed for a moment as she tried to get the door open, and by that point I was already in the bathroom, the only room in the house with a lock on it. I was out of breath, and I remember clearly the sweat gathering on my neck as I...
Wait a minute. You just say what I think you just said? The only room in the house, which is the bathroom, that has a lock on it. So any other room that has a door to it don't lock. So anybody or anything can go and come as they please. Wow. You got some cluckies. You got some cluck parents. Oh, shit.
Sat there, trying to comprehend what was happening. At first, I wondered if I had imagined the whole thing.
Nah.
That thought quickly disappeared when she began slamming against the door. I scrambled back as far away from the door as I could and fell into the bathtub. In a panic, I turned the faucet off for some reason. I don't know why, but my clothes were completely soaked. She was hitting that door so hard, I was worried it might start to crack open from the sheer force. The old woman definitely had some unnatural strength to her. After a while, she gave up. I heard her move away from the door and start shuffling through the rest of the house, muttering to herself. She kept saying stop or leave me alone or something like that over and over again. I don't know how long I stayed in that bathroom. At the time, I knew nothing of religion, but I was praying for my parents to come home. After some time, I decided to brave going out. I hadn't heard the woman for some time. Thought she might have left. I tiptoed across the hallway to the kitchen and peered around.
You doing too much.
There was nothing.
Nah.
I could barely breathe and my heart felt like it would burst from my chest.
Wow.
I could feel her staring at me. So I turned around and there she was. Stood in the darkness of the hallway grinning at me with a mouth missing half her teeth. I screamed again and bolted for the front door. My fingers barely touched the handle when I remembered my parents had locked it before they left, and I had no clue where the keys were. The woman was right behind me. Her claw-like fingers grabbed the back of my shirt, but because my clothes were soaked from the bathtub, I was able to slip out of her grip, flee back to the kitchen, and right there, the keys were on the island table. I grabbed those suckers quick. Then I doubled back around to the living room and managed to throw the door open with the woman breathing down my back. I ran out into the night, not sure where I was going, but I was desperate to get away from that crazy old woman. She was still behind me, but I think she was starting to get tired because I was way ahead of her. When I couldn't see her anymore, I almost collapsed from exhaustion. I cautiously walked back home, tired and drenched. I reached the house just as my parents pulled into the driveway. My mom had a WTF expression on her face when she saw me, but it quickly turned into concern when I started to cry.
They both.
I told them what had happened and my dad called 911 immediately. The rest of the night felt like a blur. So was the rest of the school year, honestly. I'm pretty sure they eventually found her that night, and I assume she was sent to some institution where she belonged. To this day, I start to feel a boulder-sized lump in my chest when I'm alone at night.
What? Damn. Your parents are both in cahoots. I just want to let you know that if you didn't hear from anybody.
Story 2.
Right.
The Watcher.
Right.
I'm a single woman living in a heavily wooded area of Tennessee.
Okay.
And I prefer to live by myself.
Okay.
I was home alone as usual, watching some...
Sorry. My ear was itching. I'm not about to just go through this whole reaction with my ear itching. That's dead.
cute TV movie when I got an uneasy feeling of being watched. It's not something that's easy to describe, but I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck lifting like static. My heart rate was faster than usual, a thick beat beneath my skin. I tried to shake off the paranoia and carry on watching television, but...
You shaking it off, gotta shake it off. You shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. You shaking those you trying to shake off those club vibes. It's like you trying to... I was really thinking about what I'm about to say while I took a long time to think about this shit. But yeah, you trying to do that is like you already having a pair of Adidas shoes in your house, but your friend who owns and has and wears, say Nike, trying to come to your house. They can come to your house all they want to. They not about to enter your house with those Nike shoes on. Just saying. It's not gonna work.
The feeling began to grow stronger until I couldn't concentrate on anything else. Feeling anxious about the whole thing, I eventually got up. I tried to tell myself I was just being silly, but it was difficult to ignore when it was so strong. I'd been living alone for about 2 years and I was pretty used to it, but I'd never had such an overwhelming feeling of disconcernment before. It disturbed me. I ended up having a quick look around the house, checking that all the doors were locked and that I was definitely alone.
You checked the checklist.
Then I checked the windows just as an additional precaution, and that's when I saw it. I say it mostly because the gender was indeterminable. All I saw were the eyes peering at me from the darkness outside the window. It caught me off guard and I did nothing but stare, not entirely sure what to do. Those eyes continued watching me, colorless and unblinking in the dark. My fingers trembled a bit as I reached over to draw the curtains, shutting the eyes from my sight. I was tempted to call the police, but I could barely think rationally, let alone move. Hopefully, whoever the watcher was, they would just leave. I knew that all the doors were locked, but I still felt in danger. Who in their right mind would be all the way out here at this time? I went around and checked the other windows, closing the curtains so that nobody else could peek inside. They were all empty, until I reached the kitchen. I was just about to lower the blinds on the window behind the sink when 2 eyes suddenly appeared, flashing in the dark. It startled me, This time I screamed, stumbling back reflexively. The eyes watched me with the same uncanny intensity. I thought I saw the curl of her mouth too, floating somewhere in the darkness.
Oh my God.
I swallowed down my panic and banged a fist against the window, trying to spook them. "Go, get the hell out of here," I yelled, but the eyes barely gave so much as a flutter. I tugged at the strings and the blinds rattled down, and still shaken, I went back to the front room. There was a chill in the house now. For a moment I was worried that I had left a window open somewhere, letting in some cool winter air, but I realized it was just me, my own fear.
Nah.
When I had finally calmed down and found my resolve,
What was
I
that?
grabbed my flashlight and Ruger pistol from the drawer and went outside.
What was
It was
that?
a chilly night, and the darkness played havoc with my vision.
Oh,
The beam of my flashlight tracking shadows all across the lawn. I went all around the house, flashing the light over each window, but I never found the stranger who had been watching me. Even now, I still remember their eyes peering through the glass, eerily intense. I obviously didn't sleep that night. Whoever or whatever it was still remains a mystery. Story 3. Voices in the Walls.
yeah, alright.
It happened during my first week at my new university. I had just moved into a decent apartment with an eye shot of the school, in preparation for the first day of the first semester, and I was feeling the nervous anticipation of living on my own for the first time. Sleep eluded me that first night. I was kept up both by my anxiety and excitement. It must have been nearing 2 a.m. when I heard voices. Not gonna lie, it was quite unsettling at first.
Oh yeah.
I thought they were
at
coming
first.
from inside the room, as if someone was inside my apartment. But I quickly realized the voices were coming through the walls. Since I was already feeling anxious, the whole thing creeped me out. I couldn't hear what they were saying, muffled through the walls, but they kept me up for the rest of the night. I wish I could say that was the end of it, but it wasn't. The next few nights were the same. I would usually wake up around the same time after midnight and hear them. I figured it was just my neighbors speaking, but the voices gradually grew louder. They began to pervade my sleep, creep into my dreams, and drag me right back into wakefulness.
Wow.
Then one night, things got way worse.
What you talking
I
about?
woke up one night to raised voices. The tension was palpable through the walls, and I could feel goosebumps raising along my skin as I listened to them. I hadn't heard them fight like this before, and it seriously scared me. I had to lay there listening to the voices trembling with anger, sharp and vicious through the cracks in the walls.
You know. You gotta you got some options. You can put some, you know what I mean, some over the ear headphones. I thought I saw a bug. You should. I don't know why I'm stuttering. I think it's because this is really creeping me out. But you should either have some like over the ear headphones, noise cancellation, right? Or have one of those ear plug things that you put in your ear when you're on an airplane and you don't want your ears to pop or something like that. Or just play some real loud music, or, you know what I mean, with the speaker. Or some TV. Or some dashy games, because he be extra loud. You know what I mean? You got options. You're choosing to hear this shit. If it was me, first of all, I wouldn't be still in there. But if I was you, that's just what I would do. Just because it seems like you just going along with this shit.
Then I heard a thud, right against the wall, on the other side of the room. I swear my heart stopped. Everything went quiet after that. The Silence felt loud. On one hand, I was grateful for the peace, but I couldn't get that thud out of my head. What had happened? Were they okay?
Who cares?
After what seemed like an eternity, I finally gave into my exhaustion and passed out. I woke up screaming when someone rapidly knocked on the door. Fists were slamming desperately against the wood. I could feel the vibrations in my head. I was terrified. I was alone and it was in the middle of the night, and I didn't want to answer the door. But they kept knocking, and with such urgency. I felt compelled to get up.
Oh my god.
My door didn't have a peephole or anything, so I opened it up slowly, keeping a foot wedged against the back of it in case I had to shut it quickly. To my surprise, it was a young woman.
Sus.
Her face was barely visible. It was obstructed by what seemed to be blood-soaked hair. From what I could see, one of her eyes was red from crying, and there was a bruise flowering across her cheek. I realized it was my neighbor. She struggled to get words out when I asked her what happened. She sounded almost like how a deaf person speaks. She told me in hushed panic whispers that she'd had a fight with her boyfriend, and that he had tried to kill her.
Jesus.
I noticed that her jaw was completely broken.
Oh my gosh.
So before she finished talking, I had the door open and was ushering her inside, locking it after her.
Sus.
I turned around towards her, and what I saw next absolutely horrified me. Her hair barely moved out of the way when I noticed that not only was her eyeball hanging out, but her boyfriend had ripped her mouth open into a Glasgow smile. I immediately understood why she was talking like that. I told her to stay where she was while I phoned 911. As I was speaking to them, I could hear someone thrashing around next door, things breaking and shattering. My neighbor, who I later learned was named Emily, looked terrified. I was scared too, mainly that the boyfriend would come looking for her. We ended up hiding in my room until the cops and medics arrived. He tried to run away, but they released a canine unit after him, which was quite satisfying to be honest. I'm sure you can understand the anger I was feeling after seeing what he'd done to her. After speaking with the detective about the experience, I later learned that her boyfriend was honorably discharged from the Marines after 2 terms in Afghanistan. He had suffered from PTSD. A week later, I saw Emily's father helping her move out. She had a patch over her eye, stitches across her face, and she looked absolutely miserable. It was a horrible experience to say the least, and it made my first week at college memorable for all the wrong reasons. I just really want to thank all of you who made it to the end of the video. This is my first video on YouTube, and it's a very new experience for me. But it was actually pretty fun to make, and I'd like to do a lot more of these. So, if you're into creeps as much as I am, consider subscribing. And hit the like button so that other people could see this. It'd make me a happy man. Alright. I'm out of here. Let me know what you all thought in the comments. Oh yeah, before I forget, special shout out to the homies from the spaceship. Y'all know who you are. Peace out.
I always wait until the video is over. Is that supposed to be something or somebody in the red? Two claps is equivalent to awesome times awesome equals God/daily dose of creeps. Only knows. This right here. This whole story just in itself just puts you at like what I think is like the top 5 creepy, scary videos. Cause there was so much to this and I really enjoyed myself. I found myself very involved with it, and it definitely kept me on the edge of my bed, no pun intended, because I'm literally sitting on the edge of my bed. But the things I really loved about this video, like this horror story, is the fact that one, your voice, the voice actor is Mike Murdoch. I don't know if I said that right. If I said that wrong, I'm so sorry. I mean no intentions. It's not you know what I mean? Like I'm bad at sounding out names and words. But if you go to his channel, which I will link in the comment section of this video, and in the description box of this video, you can go to the channel, his channel, go to the about page, and you'll see like what the channel is all about, and the voice actor and sound designer of the video. But I love your voice, and I love how clear your voice is, and I love, like, your voice is perfect for like videos like these, and you have a great voice, and that's a plus. I love the fact that you added sound effects, real sound effects, realistic sound effects. I love the fact that you added like live footage. I love that. And you got, I don't know if it's either stock footage or you use real people in some of these scenes in the video. But I love that, like somebody getting up, you saw their feet, like real feet, and you saw somebody going to the doorknob and opening it. Oh, I know I said it like that. Like, that was dope. That was really awesome. That right there adds like just a lot to it, to your channel, to your videos. And if you making videos like these, like this for the future, oh my God. That right. See, I knew there was a reason I subscribed and hit that bell notification. Cause I knew I was gonna like it. I knew it. Know what I mean? Like, so I'm gonna definitely you got my support. Like I said, I already subscribed, like, but to my fans out there, what do y'all think about Daily Dose of Creeps? Like, this video was awesome in every meaning of the word. And I easily put you up there with like some of the greats up there, man. Oh my God. I did not know what to expect. Well, then again, I don't really know what to expect with most of the videos I react to. But yeah, you, at the time of this recording, you only have 225 subscribers. But your content and what you're producing and what you're making, you should definitely have millions of subscribers. Like, I know you're gonna get there within no time, but this video alone, you got me sold, man. Jesus. So I definitely want to react to more of your videos. I will react to more of your videos, right? So just as long as you keep on making them, I'm going to keep on reacting to them. And to my fans out there, how do y'all feel about this? How do y'all feel about the channel? How do y'all feel about the video that we just watched? Like, let me know that, please. Because he's, like I said, like, he's definitely up there with like some of the greats as far as like horror videos. So yeah, I thought I heard some shit. But yeah, you definitely got my support. And as long as you keep making videos, I'm gonna keep watching. Just keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my fan.